What's up, everybody? We are here to talk about the finals of the E-FISE video contest, and we figured who better to join us than a man that is very familiar with FISE, Daniel Dhers. What's up, Daniel?
How are you, Kyle?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, chilling.
So this year's been kind of rough for everybody with all the events kind of disappearing, and I think we have to give a big shout out to FISE for switching to this online competition and keeping the spirit of BMX alive, keeping everything moving forward. And also a big shout out to the riders that entered. A lot of riders entered this that I honestly didn't think were going to. It was honestly an awesome turnout, and there's a ton of great riding and a ton of great videos here. So shout out to all those guys for keeping it alive. Daniel, I think you forgot to enter.
I was injured when the video contest started. I hurt my shoulder I think at the beginning of July, which is when we were thinking about starting to film something, and that was it. I was like, all right, I'll skip it. But it is awesome that FISE put it together, man. I think everyone was missing, obviously, is missing the contest aspect of riding. Just there's nothing out there. And it's been cool to kind of watch some of the guys think a little bit outside of the box. You know, not all these guys are video people. You know, they usually just go to the contest, do the run, kind of how I am. You know, I'm not really like an edit person. So it was really cool to see everyone put their time, and everyone from all around the world was able to enter.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I honestly think that even once events return back on and we're back to a bit of normalcy, will still be a place for events like this. So I hope that this continues to exist in the future to give these riders that can really focus on this type of riding an outlet. You know, it's a cool thing to have out there. But today we have all the finals videos, and we're going to make some picks. Now, first and foremost, the way this goes down, all of these are up to vote for until the 20th. And it's important that you go vote for your favorite, because half of this is judged by actual judges and half of this is judged by everybody at home. Now, quite frankly, the first batch of these, I disagreed with some of the results. And I think some of the results got a little bit skewed by voting that I don't necessarily think was accurate. So I think it's important that people actually go in there and vote for the video that they think is the best to get the best representation of who should be in there and who should get these prizes. So watch these. The link will be below it. Go vote for your favorite. Watch all these videos. Listen to what we have to say, but there's a good chance you'll disagree with us because we all have very different outlooks and everything. But please vote after you watch these, and yeah, let's party. So let's get it started. Let's start with Women's Street. Daniel, what did you think of the Women's Street contest? This is an online Women's Street competition in BMX.
It was pretty fun to watch. Just you know, I didn't know there was a women's street side. You know, I figure some of them will ride street, but not take it serious to do a video. I think it's a bit tough of a choice, and I think we can discuss this through all of the videos. But I think the battle to me came between Angie and Anaí. I think they both had incredible riding, a lot of raw stuff in there that, you know, stuff you don't really see them do, which was really cool. But I think I will choose Angie's because I think riding wise, I think they both were very similar. I think, you know, they obviously have different levels of riding, but I think when they put it together, it came out similar. However, I think Angie had a better edited version. So I'm looking at this contest as it's a video contest, right? So I think the editing has a lot to do with the video as well. It cannot just be hey, film all this bunch of tricks, put a random song that is offbeat or something, and we got a video. To me, this whole contest has to have the edit aspect, which is also a huge part of BMX.
So you're going with Angie Marino for the win on Women's Street.
I do. And again, my pick is, I think what gives it to Angie is the way the editing was done, because they both rode amazing in these videos.
So I agree with you that those were the two standout videos, Angie and Anaí. And it could go either way. They both absolutely killed it. And I think this is a big step of progression for BMX as a whole. It's really cool to see Angie, a rider that we're all familiar with, step away from the skate parks. We're used to watching Angie air quarters really high. It's cool to see her get out there and film a full street video. With that being said, it was super close. I am going with Anaí on this. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I apologize if I'm not.
Yeah.
I think that they were both neck and neck in a lot of ways. I think Angie's was a bit more polished and smooth, but I really liked the rawness of Anaí's. A big thing that stood out to me is she did grind both ways. She did some opposite grinds in there, which I think is obviously in the past 10 or so years in BMX, that's become a big part of street riding. And to see that passed on to the women's side is really cool. Angie had 4 pegs on in her whole video, but her opposite pegs never got used. I would have liked to have seen that. The feeble grinds at the end, they both ended with a pretty big feeble. I think Angie's was a bit smoother. I think Anai's was a bit burlier. Either way, both awesome videos. That could go either way, but I am going to go with Anai on that. And hopefully there's more of this to come. It's awesome to see women out riding street, and hopefully this is the start of something big.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So let's move forward to Women's Park. You are very familiar with Women's Park based on most of them riding regularly at your park.
Yeah.
So let's hear. So I know you sat back and watched all these. What's your takeaway here?
I think you have an obvious standout, which is Hannah. I know she filmed this in one day, and that has nothing to do with the video in itself, but you can see that she did put effort in it. She went in, did a bunch of tricks that I see her practice and doesn't always really do. You can see that she saves them for an event, and I guess she took this as the event. The triple bar air, the flip bar from the spine to the landing is, I think, what really did it to me, because I know she can flip bar the spine, but transferring to the left or the right is always a bit tricky. And dude, that was nuts. To me, her riding definitely was very well done. The editing, thanks to Ryan Nyquist, was also done very well. But my other picks, which I think did an amazing job, was Nikita. I think her video was very well polished and just looked beautiful. And he was able to highlight all of her riding. And the Colombian twins, I think you can see they packed a lot of tricks into this video. Everything they could possibly do, they put it in there. I didn't like so much how the editing was done, but dude, you can see that the girls put in a lot of effort. And it's crazy because I think you can slowly see the difference between the twins. One of them is smoother, has a different flow. It's more, a more refined rider. And the other twin, she can do the gnarlier tricks. She's more burly when it comes to riding. So it's cool to see that, they put in their time in and they did an edit for the contest.
One thing I will say, it's really cool to see their progression. I'm definitely a big fan. You need to talk to them about doing flyout tricks. These girls are too good to be doing flyout tricks. They're still filming flyout tricks. They're so good. They ride at such a high level. Their videos are awesome. And then there's a flyout turn down. It's you guys are better than that. Yeah. You're better than that.
I agree. And I think it comes down to experience. You think they've been riding, I know they haven't been riding for long, and they've been kind of in the pro circuit for a year. So I don't think they know all the ins and outs of for the longest times, that's what girls did. They all just did flyout tricks. So I think they still, when they go back and watch some of those videos, yeah, that's what it was predominant. Obviously that has changed in this last year or so, but I can see that they're still learning about the BMX pro world.
So with that being said, your pick is Hannah?
My pick is Hannah, yes.
So I'll get to my pick in a second, and it probably won't surprise you. But just a couple things I want to highlight. Liz Surley did a tail whip to tail tap to bar spin. That was really cool. For seeing a woman do that trick, I believe that's a first for a woman. Very cool. Also, Natalia did a tuck no-hander to tail tap to foot jam whip. So those two tricks those two tricks right there are possibly the two best tech tricks ever done, in my opinion, by women riders. And to see those both in this contest says a lot for this contest, what it brings out. Those are tricks they're probably not going to do in a traditional contest right now. But given this video contest opens that door for them to do these technical moves. So both those were big standouts for me. Now
I agree, man. And I think Natalia also had a lot of stuff in her edit too. It definitely a contender. And you can see how she's gotten a lot better through the time. Going from last year, I think she was here for a few months, then saw her at the Worlds, and then everyone disappeared this whole year. And then looking at this edits, you can tell who's been putting time, and you can see Natalia's definitely putting her time on the bike, which is awesome.
I agree. Now my favorite video was Nikita's. I thought Nikita had an awesome video. She worked with Dan Foley, who's incredibly talented and an amazing rider himself. But Dan did a great job of really putting a good feel to the video and showing what Nikita's good at. That was definitely my favorite video, but as far as picking a winner, I have to go with Hannah. As much as I enjoyed Nikita's video, the riding level just isn't there where Hannah's is. Hannah did a triple bar spin. Hannah did a double tail whip, the backflip bar spin transfer. The riding level is just so high in her video that you can't not give it to her. Now, I will say this. I absolutely hate that it's vertical, and I hate the camera that Nyquist always uses. So I love you, Ryan Nyquist, but I hate that camera, and I don't know why on earth you made this video vertical. This is so bad. It's just the one vertical video. It makes me want to not say this is the best video, but the riding level is so high, you can't be denied. So I definitely agree with you. I think Hannah's video is the best. I think Hannah takes it. She's just on another level, man, and I think the rest of the women are kind of playing catch up, and it's going to be hard because if she stays motivated and she stays progressing at the level she's been on for the past few years, it's going to be a real game of catch up.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So we'll fast forward to the men here. Let's talk about street first. When it comes to street riding, I always want to know Daniel Dhers' opinion. Just the man that embodies street riding. So let's what do you think of this? Actually, we'll start with men's street. So yeah, take it.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. As all you know, I'm very well known as a street rider. That's from landing flight all those years. But dude, I think street is incredibly difficult, and I think picking a winner, I think you can narrow it down a little bit. But dude, even the guy that gets last had like an amazing video. It was tough. Like I was trying to take notes of like all their videos, and it was just insane to see. Like, dude, there was something that I liked from everyone. It wasn't like, okay, I discarded this guy, he didn't put the time. Like everyone put in their effort, dude. The guys that stood out the most to me was I really liked DeMarcus Paul. He did he started the video doing a rail ride and then jumping up some stairs. And there's a part in the video where he played around with some slant walls. He did, I think, like a fakie, run into it, 180, and then goes back to that one, then like a 360 out or something. And dude, I just thought it was awesome. I really enjoyed his riding. But I think the head-to-head came Garrett versus Kevin. They are good partners, amazing riding street. They know how to do edits. They know how to film. They had good crews behind them. And, it's really tough. I think it's going to come down to personal preference. And I think I like Peraza's video more. And I think I do because the feel of the video was different. It was a bit more energetic, I feel like. But dude, yeah, Garrett also did insane stuff like always. Burly jumping tricks and then tag both ways, crazy. The feeble and then change 180 feeble. Like all this stuff that he did was also pretty nuts. But yeah, my pick will be Peraza. I really enjoy the vibe of the video, the whole thing, and his tricks were crazy. He did like up grind to 3 down whip, which was awesome. Like. He had a lot of cool things in his videos, and he shows that's why Peraza is one of the best riders out there. He can do things that are different, but not in like a, cookie cutting way. It's like, it's real. So
you're going with Kevin Peraza. Now, I will say when it comes to the street contest, this is the one I had the hardest time with. I kind of changed my opinion about who I thought should win like 5 different times. When I first watched him, I was like, it's definitely Courage Adams. And I talked to somebody else about that, and he was like, Courage his video was really good, but it's pretty much all long nose manuals. There's not much variety in there. So I rewatched it, and it's a 60-second video, and probably 40 seconds of it is him doing nose manuals, which are some of the highest level nose manuals I've ever seen. But I understand when you're judging these video parts as a whole, it's good to have variety in there and whatnot. So then, I started leaning towards Chad. Dan Kruk's video was amazing. DeMarcus had a great part. But after I got to go with Garrett Reynolds on this. After watching them all pretty closely and breaking this down, I think he just shows a great variety. I think, he wins all these street contests for a reason. He has high speed burly stuff in there, but he has some slow technical ledge moves, and all of it's just on point. Whereas a lot of riders are good at one thing, Garrett's good at everything. And this video is, and I got to say too, I thought there was no chance of Garrett entering this contest. And
I was a bit surprised too. So it was cool to see that he joined.
Garrett and Tony Ennis, the dream team, comes through in this FISE contest, and they certainly delivered. I got to go with Garrett on this one. But there's no wrong, especially with this one. There's no wrong pick here, and you could justify any of these guys winning it. But Garrett Reynolds is my pick. Now let's fast forward to something you know slightly more about. BMX Park for the men. Take it. What do you think?
I think I'm more of a street guy, but I'll give you my Park opinion. Dude, Park, tough. Just because you're looking at so many different things and riding with these guys, and everyone is like, you know, everybody has like a highlight, almost similar to street, you know. And I started narrowing down to Logan because his stuff was super clean. I'm positive that maybe besides a trick or two, everything was done first go. Like he's just that smooth, and you can tell when he's riding. You know, Kieran, I was surprised with like the stuff that he packed in the video, and you can tell that he's like a video guy too because the edit was done very well. Perazza, again, original as hell. The whole edit had a great vibe. Kenneth packed a lot of tricks in his stuff too. So like, you know, I think these four are like my main guys, but dude, I think I will give it to Kieran, and I will give it to Kieran just because he had like a couple, I'm not sure if they're MVDs, but if they're not, they definitely haven't been done by many guys, like the 360 5-hour spins. That I don't think it's been done at a contest, and if he has, it probably was at one event somewhere obscure, not like at a finals where everybody knew. The truck whip bar. He did the truck whip bar, and you know, you think of that split second, and it was like, okay, whatever. And then he added another bar. It's like, holy shit, dude, how like do you have the time to add this? And then I think he turns around and 3 triple with the other box. So, and he had tech too, you know, he does a 7 whip to like what was a whip to whiplash? Yep. Or no whiplash, but foot jam whip. And then the truck, the 3-bar to foot jam on the quarter. So he had a little bit of everything. And I think, again, I picked his because he had, to me, some of the hardest tricks combined with good editing. I think if we were looking at like a run, like a solid one run, probably Logan would have gotten my vote just because everything looked clean. I just think the editing side wasn't as amazing as probably Kieran's. And I also didn't like how, which I don't know why Logan did this, but why does he start his run with an ninja drop from the roof? I think it was really odd, which was good to see, but not my favorite trick. So yeah, that's kind of, and you know, and it's crazy because at the beginning when the qualification happened, I really liked Eric's video. To me, he had the best one just because that to me was what embodied the event. It was going to be a contest that can happen because of COVID. He got Daryl to announce it. He got like a bunch of random people in there that he was high-fiving. He went and like, he had like a playful theme to it, which was awesome. I don't know if the rules apply in any way that if he's repeating the video, he gets penalized, but definitely an honorary mention to him because dude, that video was great.
So plenty of honorable mentions in there, but your pick is Kieran Riley.
Kieran, yes.
Respect to that. That was definitely Kieran's best piece of riding I think he's ever put out. You know, especially I kind of overlooked some of his stuff, and when you broke it down, I was like, he did have a lot of crazy stuff in there. Kieran's video is awesome.
Yeah, so, and I like that, you know, he puts in his time, and you can tell in this video that he definitely he wants to win this event. He wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna do some clips. Cool. He definitely, you know, he has that new blood like starvation, which is always good to see. You
don't have that anymore.
I have a little bit. I turn it on when I need it.
So a bunch of good videos. Tentio's video was awesome. Nice to see Kenneth going hard at his spot. Wish Eric would have done another video. I don't know if he's injured or what, but I hope everything's good with him. You could tell that Marin, I know Marin just had shoulder surgery. You can tell he wasn't 100%. Unfortunate there because his first video was really good, and you could tell he had more in the tank. You know, but I got to go with the two that stood out to me the most were Logan and Kevin. Now, like you said, trick for trick, I think it's got to be Logan because Logan just had the craziest tricks in there. And he did some stuff that was out of his comfort zone as well. He did some opposite stuff in there. The triple whip air to opposite triple whip on the box. So he had some really good stuff in there. I think we're all a little bit numb to Logan riding his backyard. you watch him and you sit down and think about how crazy some of the stuff he does is. It's hard to totally digest because we just see him doing crazy stuff back there all the time.
Yeah.
Didn't like the ninja drop. That was kind of weird. Hopefully he's just got to make that roof attacks right off, so it has to be a piece of his job or something. But because it's a video contest and I enjoyed them both so much, my final pick's Kevin Peraza. It was close between him and Logan, but Kevin's video just had a lot of variety. I know Kevin got out of his comfort zone as well because he had things in there like an alley-oop flare whip. And, he had some big tricks like that, but he also had, 360, the nose manual, the 360. He had the line where he's spinning both ways and doing, tricks, opposite spins and whatnot. Good technical moves, good half cab moves, just an overall piece of BMX, kind of showing how cool and diverse park riding can be. Park riding isn't just the FISE course who can do the biggest box jump trick. Park riding is a really diverse thing. And Kevin's the dude that might not win the FISE contest in Montpellier, but he's the dude that can absolutely win the video contest. He's one of the best park riders in the world, and I think that's really embodied in this video. I love that his dad's in there.
That was awesome to see.
That made me happy. It invokes some emotion, which makes you judge things a certain way. Really close, could go either way. I definitely think the two best were Logan and Kevin, and because it's a video contest, as a whole, Logan's video wasn't bad. It's video quality wise, but Kevin's was exceptionally good. Yeah,
and I think we have to remember, like, again, we're talking about the video contest, so it has to be the full package.
Yeah,
the full package, and that's what ultimately gets the vote. And also, like, how you said at the beginning, not everyone's gonna agree with us. I think it's at the end of the day, it's like what you really like from watching. Like that's the beauty of freestyle. You can choose whatever you want. Like if this is the style you like, that's it. But yeah, it is. I think it's cool to be able to discuss this person to person in camera. Yes.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that judging is difficult. Everything's subjective. This could go so many different ways. But I'm excited to see what the actual results are. I'm excited to see what the judges pick and also what the fans pick. I'm curious to hear some thoughts out there. There's so much quality stuff out there. You could make a case for any of these videos winning for the most part. Like except for in women's park, Hannah definitely won women's park. But,
yeah.
But for the rest, of them,
that was probably the obvious choice in the entire contest.
So we've got quick recap of the picks. With women's street, you're going Angie. I'm going Anaí. With women's park, we're both going with Hannah. Men's street, you are going Kevin Peraza. I am going Garrett Reynolds. And men's park, you're going Kieran Riley, and I am going Kevin Peraza. Shout out to Kevin Peraza for getting 2 videos in there too. But
yeah, that's true.
It's entirely possible that Kevin wins street and park. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Daniel, anything else you care to add here?
I had something, but I forgot, so just leave it to that.
Thanks for that. Everybody, click the link, watch all these videos, vote for your favorite. Let's get the right guy on top of the podium, and thanks for watching. Let's party.
Yeah. See you later.